doing cameras. Eat it, man. Don't even have the capacity to even talk about this. But I'm angry.
Hey guys, my name is Modi and you're welcome to Modi Speaks. Before we dive into this video, please consider subscribing to my channel and like and share this video to keep people informed. Thank you. I have always found it absurd whenever I hear some black people demanding for reparations. I always find myself wondering, reparations for what exactly? Okay, because you see, I would find it understandable if our black ancestors who were actually enslaved, who actually experienced the real slavery, were the ones asking for these reparations. But unfortunately, that is not the case, okay? These people asking for reparations are just looking for free money. They are trying to profit off of their ancestors' sufferings and pain because the glaring truth is these people were never slaves, okay? They never worked in the fields picking cotton. They never had any first-hand or even second-hand experience with slavery. But no, they just want to cash out with their black card. Today we're going to be looking at a grown man, probably someone's husband or even father, breaking down and recording himself crying like a baby because the government refused to give him money he didn't work for.
I'm so angry right now. Ain't doing cameras. Eat it, man. Don't even have the capacity to even talk about this. But I'm angry. And the sad thing is I already knew what the ruling was gonna be. Because Oklahoma is that place. It is that place where black people see little justice in that place. And I'm angry because I am a 1921 Tulsa race massacre descendant. I'm a descendant of a family that survived. Not only that, I know the survivors. Like, I was with them when we went to DC and they spoke at Congress. I just don't have the emotional capacity to respond at this point. Because we've all been through so much these last, last 4 years. I'm just so angry.
What a shame. What a shame. Now, the reason why this man and so many others wouldn't find it excruciatingly embarrassing to cry on camera and post it on the internet for the world to see is because they know that there are people who would cater to this nonsense, okay? They are aware that there are so many individuals in America who would justify their actions and make excuses for their embarrassing behavior. Oh, he's in pains. He's traumatized by something he never went through. Oh, we have to pay him so that his pains will go away. He knows the American society will surely pander to him, and that is why he has no shame. And that is why he will set up a camera, adjust his positions, and cry into the camera. This is pathetic. And another thing I have discovered is that those of us that are asking for reparations for being related to slaves do not actually know that our ancestors have been given reparations of some sort, okay? Because we do not genuinely care about our history. We are more focused on playing the victim card than actually seeking out what went down in history. I came across this guy by the name of Vince Ellison, and trust me, what he has to say about reparations will be an eye-opener to a lot of us.
My question is, what are your thoughts on reparations?
Oh man, it's Lucy moving the football on Charlie Brown. You're never gonna get it. You know that song by In Vogue, you're never gonna get it? Ever. It's putting the carrot in front of the horse to keep him moving, and he's never gonna catch it. All right, I'm gonna give y'all something okay, I have a podcast, the Vince Everett Ellison Show, y'all should watch it. I did a podcast on reparations and on slavery being a choice. And I tell them that I believe slavery was a choice because in 1776, when we started the American Revolution, George Washington and the British gave black slaves, said you can have your freedom if you come fight. British said we'll give it to you. Americans said we'll give it to you. Some decided to fight, some decided to stay on the plantation. Choice. War of 1812, same thing. You come fight, you get your freedom. Some came and fought, some chose to stay on the plantation. Another choice. Mexican War, same choice. Come fight, get your freedom, or you can stay on the plantation. Chose to stay on the plantation. Civil War, same choice. Abraham Lincoln issues the Emancipation Proclamation 1863. Told the black people down south, you're free, come fight for your freedom. 1% joined the Union Army. Rest stayed on the plantation, spit cotton. Even though all of the men were going to fight for the Confederacy. Instead, they picked cotton to sustain the Confederacy, build the ramparts for the defense of the Confederate Army, and dug the ditches to try to help them defeat the Union Army. Another choice. After the Civil War, and this is where I get to your reparations. Homestead Act comes out, 1866. Says that you can have forget 40 acres in a mule, you can have 150 acres. It was first passed in 1863, but and only white men could use it. But in 1866, they applied it to free black men also. And that you would have 150 acres of land. If you only will go out and work it for 5 years, you have it forever. You could use the land as collateral for your mule and for your house. Less than 5,000 took them up on it, and they were called the exodusters. Then they did the Southern Homestead Act with the same thing. 150 acres of land if you'll just work it. Less than 5,000 took them up. They turned down the reparations. Turned them down. And here's the coup de grace. If you want your reparations, go to Gettysburg, where there are Union dead laying there dead. Go to Antietam when they said it was raining lead while those young men were fighting to free the slaves. Go to Shiloh. Yeah, go to Vicksburg. Those are your real reparations. 600,000 Union dead. To free you from slavery, while most of you decided to pick cotton to help the people that had you enslaved. So you just had an education, and when they come and ask you about reparations, that's what you tell them, all right? Point them out to Vicksburg, point them out to Antietam. Tell them to go somewhere around where there are young men who died young and never had children and never had families, whose descendants were erased to give them their freedom. That's your reparations. And then you turn them down after the Civil War. And then these liberals are making fools out of these people by telling them, we're going to give you a check. One guy said it'll cost $23 trillion. America's only worth $23 trillion. You don't get, we're supposed to give the black people, the whole nation, everything. Google, X, Alphabet. It's ridiculous. And the fact that these people will listen to it and think that it is plausible shows you it's something wrong with them. It will never, ever, ever, ever happen. When Jesus come back, they can ask him for the reparations. I'm sure he'll have enough to give it to them. So, thanks for the question.
Yeah, just like he said, it is ridiculous, okay? Another thing I find interesting is why is nobody demanding reparations from African countries? No one is clamoring for reparations from Ghana, from Kenya, from Cameroon, from Gambia, from any of these African countries. No one is asking them for money. Remember, this was a slave trade, not a slave kidnap. It was a trade, meaning that there was a buyer and a seller. Everyone is focused on the buyer, and everyone has forgotten about the seller. What about the people who built slave markets and slave yards in their countries, in their backyards, who captured their brothers and sisters and sold them off to the buyers? What about them? Why is no one talking about reparations from them? The Ghana Empire, the Sokoto Caliphate of Nigeria, the Mali Empire, the famous wealthy Mansa Musa of Mali, so many famous and wealthy, notable African kingdoms all grew their wealth through slavery, selling their own people. In fact, when slavery was abolished in the Western world, African slave masters were very angry. They wanted to sustain slavery. They were very pissed. They fought battles to continue selling their people. They were against putting an end to slavery until the British Army came down to these African nations and neutralized them with advanced weapons and ammunition. The white man ended slavery both home and abroad. I think we should spend more time on our history books, okay? The fact that black people are free today is reparations enough. The fact that black people have equal rights in America is reparations enough. The fact that black people can become the president, vice president, congress people, lawyers, doctors, and practically anything they want to do in America today is reparations enough. The United States of America have done more for black people than all African countries combined, okay? But people like this man right here would pretend they are worse off in America, crying, and asking for reparations. I find it funny when people like this start acting like they feel the pain of something they never really experienced. Because your ancestors went through this horrible time in history just doesn't mean that you too did. Please quit this corner history and get a decent job. Anyway guys, these are my opinion, these are my thoughts, but feel free to share yours in the comment section, but do so respectfully, and consider joining my membership if you're interested in supporting the channel. Again, subscribe and turn on the notifications to help the channel out. Thanks for watching this video, and I hope to catch you on my next video. For now, peace.